Marty from owingsart.com. That's OWINGSART.com. And what can I tell you? It is cold outside right now in Minnesota. I just got back inside from letting my dogs out, and they didn't even want to be out there. It's the end of December. Night has just fallen, and it's about 12 degrees below zero. Cold enough to freeze your pencils, and it is, when it gets as cold in Minnesota, Minnesotans just say, hey, it's cold outside. And everybody sort of hunkers down. And that's what I'm going to do tonight as I talk about 4 different pencils, 2 each from the same manufacturer. So without any delay, bam, there they are. 2 are from English manufacturer Derwent, and the other 2 are from German manufacturer Faber-Castell. The unique properties about these are they're all drawing pencils. I'll show you that in a minute. With varying thickness of cores, but what's really special about these pencils is one from each manufacturer is made for just drawing, and the other one is a watercolor pencil. That's right, a pencil you can do watercolors with. And I'll show you some examples at the end of some watercolors, watercolor pencil drawings that I've done using these pencils here and ones just like it from the same manufacturer. So let's just talk a little bit about the individual performance characteristics of each of these pencils. And I'll show you some examples here in a couple of minutes. This Derwent pencil, this is a standard drawing pencil by the English company Derwent, and it is a chocolate 6600, I believe. Yes, it is, and this is one of my favorite pencils, and it's just awesome. It lays down thick, heavy color. It's got this huge crayon-like lead in it, and I believe it's wax-based. I should have checked that out in advance, but it feels like wax anyway. If it's oil-based, it's still pretty cool. So I use this pencil a lot. It's just a really nice color. It lays down thick, and the pigments are strong. The other Derwent pencil I have is called an Inktense, Derwent Inktense, and this is one of the watercolor pencils I mentioned. And you can tell it's a watercolor pencil because it's got this little picture of a brush on it, and plus it's in the Derwent Inktense line. This happens to be a baked earth, which is also numbered, I believe, 1800. The next 2 pencils I'm going to talk about are both Faber-Castell pencils, and I do an extensive review of the Faber-Castell Polychromos and other types of Faber-Castell pencils. You can find that right here on the YouTube channel. But let's talk a little bit about this Faber-Castell is a Polychromos, and it's the Van Dyke Brown, number 176, right there. And you can read all about or watch all about my review of the Polychromos. This is an Albrecht Dürer Faber-Castell pencil, which I haven't reviewed in the past, but you can tell it's a watercolor pencil because it's got this little watercolor brush on it. The other way you can tell is that this is a 6-sided pencil, as opposed to Faber-Castell's other line of pencils, which are going to be round. So there you go. It's a good way to tell. Flat on 6 sides, round otherwise. So what makes these pencils interesting is they're all really good pencils, but they can do some very different things. So let me reach down here and get my, this is my Canson mixed media sketch pad, which I've done a lot of tests on previously, and I've shared with you. So here's the one for these 4 pencils, or at least one of the tests I've done. So here I'm just trying to practice line work, see how well the line lays down, the erasability of the pencil, just how it draws these different shaded spheres. So this here's the really heavy chocolate Derwent pencil, which is really good, lays down nice dark colors. And this is this baked earth, the watercolor pencil from Derwent. Here's the Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencil from Faber-Castell, and finally the Faber-Castell Polychromos. All this across the middle here, all of that is the chocolate. And I've labeled all the numbers for you. So let's just talk a little bit about the watercolor effects here that you can get from the watercolor pencils. And I'll talk more about these watercolor pencils in another review, but I just wanted to show you some of this. So on this side, over here, sorry, this is the Derwent chocolate, and I tried some water on it, and you can see it doesn't do much to it. I tried some here, and same result with the Faber-Castell non-watercolor. But once you get to the watercolor pencils, wow, big difference. And so all I use is this kind of cheap brush, you know, and it's got a little edge to it, and then a cap full of water. So dip the brush into the water, get a little of the excess off, and you can, I'm going to get a little closer here. You can see how it affects that. Now here's the, it's kind of awkward and facing backwards, but let me give this a better shot here. Yeah. There you go. And I'll show you, like I said, a couple of drawings that I've done with these and some watercolor drawings, which is really neat. You can do these sharp line drawings and add that element of watercolor, which really gives your drawings a whole new dimension, and I think it's just awesome. Good invention out there by Derwent and Faber-Castell, and there are other manufacturers getting into, or have been into for quite some time, watercolor type pencils. But again, 4 great pencils. So all right, I had to cut myself off there. I was going a little long. This first drawing is a comic book character called Wolverine. I did this with that chocolate colored Derwent pencil, and I thought it came out pretty good. The next drawing I did with the Faber-Castell Van Dyke Brown pencil. This is a portrait of my sister I did a few years back. I thought it came out pretty well too. This is a watercolored pencil drawing that I did with the Derwent Inktense pencil. And then finally, this is an architectural whole building drawing I did with the Albrecht Dürer Faber-Castell watercolor pencil. Well, thanks for dropping by, and don't forget to leave a comment, and I hope you, wherever you're at, stay warm.